Hello. So at this stage, we're beginning our coursework, and you get given 3 contextual challenges from the exam board. And in this case, this is the 2020 information that came through from Educus. And the 3 design briefs, or the 3 contextual challenges are just here. So designing for a sustainable future, revitalize modernized products, enhancing everyday life. And it is considered to be good practice to analyse all 3. So you should ideally analyse all 3 conceptual challenges in detail, and obviously you get a little bit of information after each one which explains it in a little bit more detail. As you can see, for the design for a sustainable future, design and make an innovative sustainable proposal to replace an existing product or products. And obviously that's what you need to really be focusing on, and the whole way through the course you need to be constantly referring back to this and constantly talking about this at every stage. The success criteria for this bit I've just highlighted with an arrow. So identify for the lowest marks, identify 1 opportunity for possible development of designs within the prescribed context. So just 1 opportunity. Okay, so 1 thing you could do, 1 thing that you could do to solve that problem. And then you've got some opportunities, effective identification of opportunities. That's talking about quite a few, quite a wide range of opportunities there. And then undertake a thorough and effective identification of opportunities. So that thorough meaning lots and lots, really, loads of different opportunities for solving that problem. Okay, now if we go back, this is some information from the exam board textbook. So things to consider here are the user, the person or group of people a product is designed for, the stakeholder, a person other than the main user who comes into contact with or has an interest in the product. So that being like someone that's buying it for them, like a parent if it's for a child, or maybe the company that's going to sell it to make sure it's suitable for that company, like Argos or IKEA. And then the context, which means the setting or surrounding in which the final product will be used. So where the product's going to be used. The context of a design is the setting or surrounding in which the final product will be used. In order for a design solution to be successful, it must not just work, but work within the context it was designed for. So not only should it should work for the context, which means the place it's designed for, or the surroundings. The context of a design will incorporate many things, such as the surrounding or environment where it will be used, needs, wants, values of the user and other stakeholders, the purpose of the end product, social culture, moral and environmental considerations may also influence and affect the context. A product that is designed properly within the context will fulfill its purpose exactly, giving the user and stakeholder what they require with a minimum of interaction or inconvenience. So you're designing a product there that will perfectly fit what they need. Perfectly fit what they believe in, what socially they think is okay, without any inconvenience. It just does the job. If design takes place without consideration of context, then it will invariably lead to the final product that does not fully meet the needs of the user or stakeholder, and may even result in a product that is completely unsuitable. Okay. So you've got to make sure it's really highly focused on the user or stakeholder. Those are really your key to this. When you're analysing the contextual challenges, it's important to consider a range of different options that will influence the design. So who, why, where, when, what, how. So for example, who are the primary users, which means who are the main users. So it's designed for teenagers, then they would be the main users. And who might be the secondary users? The secondary users might be like their siblings, like their younger brothers or sisters, or older brothers or sisters, or parents, or if it's in a school, it might be the teacher who might also use the product, or the students. For example, the age, gender, physical mobility. Why is there a need for this product? What is so you need to seriously weigh up, why is there a need for the product? What is the problem? What are the restrictions on the design? Which means, what can't you do? What type of things are really important to make sure that you're aware of, that you've got to keep within certain proximity. So, for example, is there a problem specific to one particular person or user group, or is it needed for a specific reason or event? Next one is, where will the product be used? What type of environment will it be used in? Indoors or outdoors? Is it likely to be subject to harsh weather or moisture? Will it have to operate in especially hot or cold conditions? What must the product do? What is the primary function? So the next thing is what it must do. What is the primary function? What's the main job of the product that you're designing? Are there any other secondary functions? So secondary things it could do. For example, does it have just one main purpose, or must it fulfill a number of different requirements? Such as if it's a chair, it might be the main function is it supports you. Secondary function might be that it's comfortable. And it looks good, might be the third function. So the next one is, when is the product most used? Is the product used at certain times of day? Is it used at certain times of year? For example, if it's used in the daytime, when it's light, or at night when it's dark, will it just be used at certain times of the year and need to be stored for long periods between use? So how is the product meant to function? How will it be stored, transported, maintained? So can it be cleaned easily, for example? How will the other items above affect the design? For example, will it have to function without making any noise? Will it need to be transported long distances? So have to be portable, etc. So those are the main areas that you need to focus on. And like I said, if you do that and you undertake a thorough and effective identification of opportunities, obviously that's when you're looking at the highest grades. And you can't spend too long on this. Really, in terms of analysing these contextual challenges, you should try and do them within an hour. In terms of the 35 hours that you're allowed, you've got to be very quick. So these are types of questions that you need to be answering quickly in order to get this done to a high standard and to have considered a wide range and comprehensively considered a wide range of issues. So I've already talked about a lot of these. So there's just kind of in brackets some little things that could be considered, some ideas, and things that you might want to list or look at. So obviously a range of different primary users, potential secondary users, stakeholders, so parents, IKEA, so a whole range of different options there that you could consider. So why is the product needed? Gaming, storage, etc. What is the problem? So in this case, constantly referring back to the contextual challenge, the problem is it's got to be sustainable, it's got to be innovative. So those are the main problems. What are the restrictions on design? So maybe not using finite resources. It's got to be biodegradable. Where will the product be used? Indoor, outdoor, kitchen, etc. What type of environment will be used in? So like harsh weather, moisture, cold, indoors, children's bedrooms. If it's children's bedrooms, obviously, then it's got to be hard wearing. Got to be easy to clean because children, tend to get dirty hands and stuff and things need to be cleaned more often. Near a sink, outdoor, etc. So there's loads of different options there. What must the product do? Light up, support, comfort, be attractive, etc. So the primary function, what's the main purpose? Is it to tell the time? Is it a clock that you're designing, etc.? Are there any other secondary functions? Will it do anything else, such as be attractive, light up, be comfortable, adjustable, rotate? It could even have a cup holder. What could it do? When is the product used? Day, in the office hours, etc. When playing games. Is the product used at certain times of the day? Day, night, dark, dusk, afternoon, evening, etc. Is it used at certain times of the year? In the summer, spring, I would say that.
How will the products function? It's got to be very bright. Is it a light? It's got to really bright and light up the room. It's got to be really supportive, easy to clean. How will it be stored, transported, such as will it need to be transported long distances? Will it need to be stackable, portable, easy to take apart? How will other items affect the design, such as stackable, small number of materials, so it's easier to recycle, be smooth, shiny surface, easy to clean, etc. So here's one I've done using those terms and the phrases and sentences and questions. And you'll see I've also copied and pasted a load of images underneath. Now, to do that really easily, if you just go to Google Image, and if you do the section, just pick out some keywords from here or key phrases that you think will be useful for this section, or whatever you put in. And then it might come up with, well, if you go to Google Image, it comes up with loads of images, and you can just print screen a section, a whole page, and then just crop it down to a little bit, and it literally to get those images on there nice and neatly, so they look nice and neatly in order. It took me 2 minutes at most. Just crop it down in Word or PowerPoint or something else, and then just paste it underneath. So it's got to be a fairly quick process. Again, it just highlights what you're saying in a bit more detail. So in this case, you'll notice at the top I've highlighted the words that I think are important in the contextual challenge, and then I've then talked about it. So who? Well, in this case, it's not saying it's supposed to be aimed at anybody specifically. So its primary user could be anybody: babies, children, adults, etc., dogs, cats. The context should just, so the contextual challenge just says to replace an existing product, which could be anything. Secondary user, brothers, sisters, cats. Again, it's cat that's completely left open. And you give examples. You know, I could think about a product. I could think about. I could think a large amount of a product are designed for more than one. Basically, saying that a large amount of products are designed for more than one person. This is done by making them adjustable or safe, etc. Could the products do anything else? So the stake could be anything. So the stakeholder could be anyone, IKEA, Amazon product, for example. It's important to consider the stakeholders, so the products will be suitable for them to sell or buy. Okay, so the next one then was why. So the product it needs to be innovative. So again, innovative says here at the top, which means the product needs new ideas, original and creative in thinking. This means the product needs to be this means the product needs to be an improvement on an existing product. The products must also be sustainable. Again, it says sustainable at the top in the contextual challenge, which means it's got to be able to be maintained at a certain rate or level. This means it's got to last and not run out. It will have to be use materials that won't run out, such as pine, softwood, or bamboo. And then the problem. So obviously making sure it's clear what the problem is. The problem is that lots of products are made from finite materials that will eventually run out. This means future generations won't have those materials to use. If people recycle those materials or use sustainable materials, then future generations won't have this problem. So I'm just clarifying why the product is needed. The first restriction on the design is the products must be innovative. Products that replaces an existing product. The second restriction is that it must be sustainable so that it doesn't damage the environment. So I'm saying what the restrictions are based on what it says up here. Okay, so where the product could be used anywhere, because it could be any product such as outdoor furniture or a towel rack. This means that when it's been decided. This means that when it was being decided what will be made, I'll have to consider how to make it suitable for that environment. So I'm just explaining really that at the moment it's not saying that it has to be
designed anywhere in particular. And I'm just giving you an example of making sure that the examiner, when they look at it, understands that I understand about the fact that it's designed for anywhere. So at this stage, the product hasn't been decided. However, if it's a chair, it might be made from modern materials or smart materials such as thermochromic ink, which changes colour in different temperatures. This might be good for outdoor furniture because it could change colour throughout the seasons. Again, there I am giving examples. So at the moment, it's not saying what it's got to do. I'm just giving an example of what it could do. The product, again, hasn't been decided. However, it's important to remember that if it was a chair, the most important aspect to consider is its primary job, i.e. supporting a person, be comfortable, be suitable head height, suitable height for the job it's needed to do, etc. The secondary function might be that it's got to look nice, change colour, rotate, etc. And then when will it be used? Deciding when the product will be used is important because it's only used indoors and at night, then the products could incorporate lights or have a decorative light using phosphorescent pigments to make it glow. Again, it hasn't been decided what the product is, so it's not clear what the product has, if the product will be used at certain times of day or night. However, if it was a bed in a small room only used to sleep in at night, then it could be designed to fold away and then be a decorative feature against the wall, just to give you examples, give you my ideas. If the product could be used only in the summer, then when it's warm, it would be beneficial to be put away or to be covered up to prevent it getting damaged or wet. To help with this, it could be designed to be lightweight or easy to take apart or foldable, etc. If the product is a light, it might be a bedside table, which means it will need to be bright enough to help someone read. It might also be painted with a phosphorescent pigment so that it glows after it has run out. It will then work as a nightlight for young children, so after it's been turned off, it could then glow effectively. To help make this easy to transport, it could be sold flat pack to reduce the carbon footprint. If more products can fit in a lorry, then the lorry will make less trips, which means less CO2 will be given off. Okay, so you would need to do that potentially, well, you need to do that 3 times for the 3 different contextual challenges, which is obviously quite a lot of information and a lot of work to do, a lot of thinking through. So before you do the contextual challenges, or before you start doing your 1 hour analysis of the contextual challenge, you need to do a bit of research beforehand just to make sure you understand thoroughly what it means by the words. So if you've highlighted the words, well, sustainable future, do a bit of research on the internet, what it's referring to, and it means sustainable future. Innovative, what's it mean by innovative? How could you be innovative? Again, do some research, type in innovative products, try and have a look and do, make some notes and get some ideas down for innovative products. Sustainable proposals, so again, products, furniture that's sustainable, lighting that's sustainable, whatever. You need to make sure that you've just done a bit of research and you understand these terms before you start this. You've got something to talk about. To replace an existing product, well, again, look at some existing products that aren't sustainable, any existing products that might be useful. Okay, so obviously make sure that you're doing the contextual challenges that link to the year that you're working on. So obviously this one was to 2020, so make sure that you're working on your current contextual challenges, and spend a good bit of time before you do the write-up finding out about it, and make notes so that you're ready for doing this stage, so you've got something to talk about. Okay, thank you, bye-bye.